All right, so it's been a year. It's 2026 now, in the middle of January, and I wanted to make this video for New Year's, but I get anxious about these things, so I always push them off. And I wanted to focus a little bit on 4D role-playing. As you guys know, I've been 4D role-playing for a while now. But for how long? It's been, what? It must be like 2 years. With 2024 getting to know 4D roleplay, using it actively in 2025, and I got a playlist with all active games I've played in ever since I started 4D roleplaying. And it's been 40 sessions now. That includes a couple of training sessions as well that I've done to help other people. Now, 40 sessions, that's a lot. Like 2 sessions a month. And I wanted to talk about, reflect how it went. The big reason why I started 4D role playing in the first place was I was bored of the hobby. I wasn't happy. It has been a venue to connect with friends and not be alone at home, to get out, and socialize. But the games themselves, which I very much enjoy the part of role playing and getting into character, just has been very lackluster. Because for the same reasons, a lot of my peers also play to socialize, but they also like the combat, they like the problem solving. You know how it is. Lots of people in this hobby can be awkward about role playing. Either they feel shame doing it, shame putting on a voice, or acting in a way that does not align with the world. You play an elf, but how do you role play an elf? We don't think that, oh, I'm gonna have the gravitas of Legolas or the grace of Galadriel, right? Well, what if I fall short? What if the other guys look weird at me and make fun of me? So that's been a very classy thing in my friend groups. We want to encourage each other to roleplay, but the role playing has been very stiff, almost robotic, just saying the lines, but in character, with no flourish, with no feeling that this is a real person that would talk that way. And there are two things for that. One of them that I mentioned before is a bit of a shame aspect inside the hobby, that you will be judged. But the other one is also, like, I live up here in North Germany. A lot of people just talk that way naturally, which is funny. It's like, I don't blame my friends for talking that way, but I wish people would enjoy the playing pretend part of being the character more. And it works better in certain games, like when we roleplay Shadowrun. When we talk in character, there was more getting into the skin, because we can all relate what it feels like living in a dystopian future, because we live in one, pretty much. So the journey of 4D roleplay, how did it go? I wanted to answer the question of, was it worth it? Do I enjoy the hobby now? Am I enjoying the hobby again? Did I lose anything in the process? I think I can start with that, because since I started, I was very excited to try out 4D roleplay. I shared it with my friends, but they were not interested. I got pushed back. A couple of them tried, a couple of them thought it's not their thing. When they tried to understand it, they conflated with LARPing, live action roleplay, which, it's hard to convince them it's not. It's just kind of getting the wrong impression, because with a live action roleplay, you also have moments where you have weird rules, judgments going on. Yeah, I'm gonna dig into this real quick because I talked with Tyler about this flame zombie. He got to talk with LARP boys over in, if I know the region right, Minnesota. And I'm sorry if I get the states wrong, Tyler. You can chew me out in the comments. But he got to talk with some LARP boys, and it was very illuminating to me that player skill plays a much bigger role. Like if you are fit in a LARP, you will just be more successful. One of the big difference that I fail to convince my friends is a role-playing game doesn't depend on player skill. It depends on character skill. All you do is pretend to be the wizard, right? You pretend to be the surgeon that can do a brain operation. You don't have to need to know the technical knowledge or the skill. It's almost that is the play acting part, right? That's the play part. As children, if you play like Father, Mother, House would be like a classic game, pretending to be a family. You play the part. You don't know what it takes, but you pretend you do. It's like pretending the dolls to invite to the tea house. And before the role play, it's like of course we role play, and when conflict happens, when I need to study about a spell, or if I need to know if I want to say something about a region that I've picked up on my journey, I roll my Arcana check, my history check. So rely on the rules to differentiate. So they weren't on board, and I wasn't on board in playing more games that end up with 30 minutes, 45 minutes of one player doing everything on his own. Lack of pacing at the table. I'm bored of playing at tables where we are constantly talking out of character to solve the problem at the table instead of arguing in character how to approach the problem and take action. I was bored of a table spending too much time deliberating many ways they could solve a problem instead of just trying one out. So there was a lot of meandering, a lot of second guessing, a lot of prep. And the payout just didn't feel rewarding. I thought I'm just gonna change hobbies. I thought I'm gonna shift into wargaming and paint more minis and put them on tables and play that. Because hey, if we are gonna do lots of combats in our role playing games, I'm just gonna play a combat game instead. I'm just gonna play a war game. But I've heard about 40 roleplay and I really got into it. And now it's been 40 sessions. It's been just about as many talk shows, really. I've been part of the Discord community, the RPG Crusade, and they've welcomed me with open arms. Rigorous debates about how to roleplay, how not to roleplay. Lots of complaining. But the big thing for me was always like, okay, great, but how do we improve the hobby? How do we get out of that? Because I want to enjoy my games again. Did it improve my games? Absolutely. I let go of the old tables. I did hear through the grapevine of they lamented the fact that I never really tried running a 40 table for them to show. Basically, make like a show and tell. And I agree, that one is on me. I could put in more, the time and effort to 40 roleplay at the local tables and get them involved. But I always get a little bit of resistance that is like, it's not worth it, it's LARPing, it's like, it's this and that. And that also has me hesitant to put it forward of like, yeah, I'm down to play more, but let's play it my way. Because it is a lot of effort, it's I'm telling you why it's a lot of effort. So gonna sit up a little bit. The reason why it takes effort is to 40 role play, you have to break down the assumptions about playing a role playing game. And a lot of the assumption is we talk out of character to solve problems. We make jokes. We eat pizza. It's a social gathering. And with 40 roleplay, we really want to have an immersive role playing experience where you can feel inside, where you can experience the world inside the skin of your character and see the world through his eyes or her eyes of whatever you're playing. Right? That was the big thing. And there's a magic in that, seeing the world through the eyes of your character. Because if you do, the world feels so much bigger. It feels so much bigger, it feels so much more real than if you see the world on a tabletop with some mini setup and some dungeon tiles spread about. Then the world feels like a battlefield, like a chess match, an equation to solve. And I'm not here for the math. The math doesn't excite me. It used to for a while, especially in the early years. But I've also been in the hobby for about I guess 10 years? No, more than 10 years. Like I've been in this hobby for 14 years now. And that just means that the math doesn't excite me. What had me stuck around is roleplay. So, was it worth it? I would say yes. I have no intention to change the way I run games right now. Now, why is that? It's it's weird. I'm having fun. I'm having a great time. Role playing, passing the buck over to the next player. Role playing. I take my turn. I take 15 seconds. Next guy takes 15 seconds. Then it's the next guy, and then it's back to me. The game master says something, and it's like a tennis match, you know? Like, I smack the ball over, he smacks the ball back. We play back and forth. We play with each other, and we create cool scenes, dramatic scenes, tension between characters. We resolve conflict. A classic example that I like to mention is when I roleplayed my dwarf in Pathfinder, and we were in a tavern for the first time. It was very early in the campaign. And the other guys were role playing by themselves, by the bar, having a drink, interacting with the bartender, asking a couple questions. And I didn't say anything. I basically stopped my turns because I am in a different place and I don't want to interrupt the scenes. But after like 4 or 5 turns back and forth, the game master did notice. We talked about it afterward. Like he felt a bit awkward about it. So, but I did step in to draw the scene to me, and I described my dwarf being in the bathroom, sitting on a three-legged stool, with his shirt off, a piece of cloth drenched in water from a bucket, and cleaning his shoulders and forearms of the sweat and mud and dirt, reflecting by the moonlight, dimly illuminating the room, together with a few candles about. And for me, that scene was so powerful because I was actually able, like at a table with other people, with other friends, with other players, to describe a scene, and nobody feels the need to make a funny comment, you know, to make a gay joke, to like, interrupt. They just let me have it, and the game master reacts to wolves can be heard through the open window, through the open windowsill. And I found that was cool. And that's a very small thing, right? Like most people hear this and think, so what's the big deal about that? The big the big deal of why it worked in that Pathfinder session, right? Like Pathfinder is a complicated fucking game, but we role played inside Pathfinder. In that session, I got to create a moment that felt real. This is what my character does. Here is where he is, what he does, and he says nothing. He just finally, and this doesn't is not conveyed at the table after 10 years, 20 years of imprisonment by dark elves that have stolen his freedom to be a slave. He finally found freedom and got to meet people that like him and got to go to a tavern and for the first time in decades clean himself off. And none of that needs to be said at the table. Like, I don't need to make a comment on the gravitas on it, because the simple fact that I get to roleplay that moment out is good enough. It allows me to layer meaning into the actions and make it serve multiple functions. It's the classic, yeah, you gotta clean yourself at some point, and you don't need to skip the bathroom scenes. We get flack for including them sometimes. Because, why would you show that? It's like a movie. You don't show bathroom scenes in a movie. Well, you do if the bathroom scene is important to the character, if it's important to the story. In this case, it was important because I wanted a moment of calm to contrast with the bustling bar scene, and also to show that my character is still doing something in the world, and also to be like, yes, he finally gets a moment of respite, right? To recover. Yeah. So, what will be done in the future? I'm still role playing. I've stopped chasing tables because I'm happy with the group I've got. I did the D&D experiment at the start of the year, which was a great success. 7 sessions, delicious drags, and it was my favorite campaign I've ever run in this hobby. Yes, my favorite, bar none. And I haven't run many campaigns, I didn't play in many campaigns, so there's always a question, well, small sample size. But what it shows me is that, yes, I am moving in the right direction. I'm enjoying the hobby, I'm enjoying the company I keep inside the hobby, and I want to keep role playing. And now with Pathfinder, A Dragon's Demand, it also brought back a passion to draw characters again. I got to draw Talash for myself and Philippe for Conway. And it's super cool to play with Nicholas as he also draws his own characters. And it's exciting to make them animate and be more interesting on camera as they emote, as they blink, and having like an attack motion as well. Makes it cool, makes it exciting, makes it fun. So I'm having fun role playing, but I'm also having fun playing around with the technology of some PNG tubing, so to say, which is separate. It's not part of 4D role playing, but it makes it fun. For the same reason why I'm doing more videos on YouTube, or like why I do them in the first place. That is That is fun. That is interesting to me to share what I'm learning with other people, especially to help them roleplay themselves. There's a little bit of like, yeah, I do like subscriber numbers going up, but it's a modest amount. Yeah, we are around 155 subscribers, and to me, that's amazing. The best part is every time I do a stream, 2 or 3 people show up and talk, and that is giving me so much energy to keep going. So I wanna thank you all. Anyone who watches this video, thank you very much for showing up for those streams. So yeah, there's also video projects in the works. I've done Dandy Danderson, the hospital corpsman in the Marine Corps of the United Nations. It's a funny video that is being played in Space Station 14. I think it's currently the latest video in my channel. You should be able to find it. So I'm experimenting with this. I've been role-playing in video games for a long time. And it's pretty light roleplay, I would say. Sometimes tried role-playing in World of Warcraft, but only for short spurts, because lots of those end up being the kinds of just socializing, but inside of a character. So I'm not too interested in that, because it takes so much time out of your day. Like the scenes never stop. It always rolls into the next thing and the next thing. So then you have to pick and choose your time to get into it. But I've enjoyed some light role playing in Space Station 14, because you can choose a server that allows for like more serious role play or more lighthearted role play, But you can imagine being a part of the world, which makes it interesting. So being a space marine, more or less, right? You're a marine in space, literally, and shooting aliens, helping out other soldiers, saving them from dying, asking them how they're feeling, like going through the motions as a medic. As things turn sour, you just try to save as many people as you can. There's a lot of role play in that, because you get a lot more action in it, right? Like at a role playing table, we often say what we do, right? But in a role playing game, like in a role playing video game, you get to act a lot more, and your actions can showcase what kind of character you're playing. So to me, that is interesting to me. So I got a video project in the works where I'm adding a challenge, an Iron Man challenge, that the character I'm playing has 1 life. So if he dies, he's gone for good. I've made some character art for him. I've gone on 2 deployments, and, well, spoilers, but he is still alive. So now I'm trying to edit the videos and learn more about DaVinci, learn more video editing skills, and to make videos with, to cobble something together to put on YouTube next. So that's where things are going right now. I'm happy with the roleplay. For me, the roleplay equation is solved. Now it's a lot of practice, it's refinement, it's working on the little details and helping other people along the road. Because it's my goal. Yeah, it's I don't know if it needs to be mentioned, but what really inspired me to make videos about it is the encouragement of the other members in the community. Like, they've done it first. This desire, this first, to get people out of those old style of games that can be fun. But for people like me that really want to focus on roleplay are just disappointing. It's the kind of thing of, hey, if 10 people show up to do a thing, you agree to do the thing that all of them want to do. So you cannot do paintball because somebody is squeamish. You cannot go biking because somebody is out of shape and cannot handle it unless he has an e-bike. You know, like you cannot go trekking because somebody's constantly sick all the time or has allergies. But everybody can sit down for a session of role-playing games. That kind of thing. But this extra dimension to it to stay in character and be immersed in the world is a unique magic role-playing games have. It can come up in other scenarios. I think like video games can help. But video games will always be limited by technology, where role-playing games are not. They are truly only limited by your imagination. And I think that's beautiful. I want to foster that. All right. Any last words? I hope you guys keep role-playing too. If you're unhappy with your group, don't be afraid to talk with them that you want to change things up. Don't be afraid to ask for help on how to improve. Don't be afraid to show yourself role playing. It's fine. It will be fine. Get feedback. Get other guys involved. If you show a bit of vulnerability, you will be surprised like how many people come out of the woodworks to show their support. At least I was. So, yeah. I'm not gonna apologize, but I know it sounds corny. And I'm not apologizing for it. So, enjoy your tables and, treasure them. You don't know how much time you got to role play with somebody before they move out of the state, get bored of the hobby, pass on, and move on to the next life. You don't know. So treasure those moments and treasure the people that you play with. Yeah, I got one more thing to say. It was a good end, but I got one more thing. There was this. There were a few talk shows lately that, like, a big critique about 40 roleplay was, well, it's well and good that, like, our advice or, you know, the advice given about 40 roleplay is well and good, but it's not actionable for the majority of the people. How can we help the majority of the players in the hobby? And I feel like I disagree. But there's also a kernel of truth. So I would say the truth is a lot of players are not interested or just interested in the role playing aspect. Many players like the combats, they like the numbers, they like listening to a story, like having a storyteller go, like basically like give your players the, I cannot think of the word, the roller coaster, right? You check in, you sit down, you sit tight, and you get on the railroad to explore all the cool parts of the game that has been prepared. And I think for all of those guys, yeah, they can just keep on playing with whatever's out there. Like all you gotta do is get your friends together and buy the next adventure book that looks interesting to you and play through that. But for people that really want to enjoy role playing, now you have to add some limitations. So it's like, okay, how do we give like advice? Like, oh, I put advice out there, but I see, and that's how it was phrased, right? Like, I see 500 people on Reddit and D&D Reddit, Shadowrun Reddit, like on all the Discords, on Facebook. They say, oh, that's well and good for you, but on my table, that doesn't work. And I like to say, I phrase it like this, like, oh, that's one good that works for you, but on my table, my players, they lie, cheat, and manipulate me to get what they want. Yeah, the problem is they lie, cheat, and manipulate you. Right? Like, there's a big difference of, I can help you roleplay, but I cannot help you solve your social interactions with other people, because I'm a man on a camera. I don't have the insights in your friend groups or your limitations of players. And I don't. And I know some people might be angry. It's like, well, I don't have the luxury to change players. And that might be true. In which case, then the only answer is, well, is it really worth it? Is it worth it to put up with some players that act childish, or some players that have mental health problems and take it out on the table? I know many tables that, couple players show up and all they do is trauma dump and lament about the life all the time, while you're trying to escape into another life right now, but they can't stop bringing it up. And it's not like there should be room to be there for a friend, right? But then there are also energy vampires out there that just steal the energy from the other people because they seek attention and validation, but they do not wish to change themselves. So for those things, yeah, you have to figure those out yourselves. I cannot help you with that, and I'm sorry. I wish I could, but that's deeply personal to your specific situations. And that's why I don't try to give those sorts of advice. And if I do, then I try to be as well intentioned as possible. But I'm not gonna change how I give advice for the entire role playing game hobby. I try to give advice to the people that agree with the premise in the first place. Just like running a role playing game, the premise, we agree on the premise. Why we do this? Why it's fun? Like, what do we like about doing this, and how do we want to go about it? What is the premise? We show up, we stay in character, we roleplay, we give the ball back and forth. What do we not do? We don't eat loudly into the microphone. We don't eat pizza. We don't, get drunk on beer or smoke weed. We don't make Marvel jokes and references all the time. And ever since doing those, my games have been so much better. And they have been so much more fun. They still struggle, the struggle being, yeah, like how do you get people on board that are currently not? That's the hard part. But for me, it's like, hey, I'm just trying to be a river and let the people come to me to get a drink and not try to seek out the people and force them to drink. It's a weird, yeah, that's that's an awkward analogy. But yeah, I hope that makes sense to you. I cannot go out there and force people to change. They need to come and be like, I'm unhappy with how the games go. I wanna figure out how to improve the games. Or, it's like, oh, the game was good, but I think it could be better. Like, what can I do next? It's those players that are dissatisfied and the game masters that want to push themselves to the next levels, that seek out content like a couple of my videos, like the RPG Crusade Discord, like Table Runner Crispy. Because I know there's more out there that can be done in the hobby. Yeah, with that, let's wrap up the video. So, I'm gonna, yeah, I want to thank you all for being there, for watching my videos. I want to thank Nicholas for being the first one to play with me. Nicholas and Solmir, we formed a strong bond early on, and it really got me understanding that, hey man, to roleplay, don't rely on the guys that has always been there to like somehow make room on the table for you, because everybody's busy. Everybody is busy. Make your own table. Go out there, reach out, talk to people, ask around. Don't be afraid to ask around, and try out. Try it out. Practice. Put it up. Review. Practice some more. Get more people involved. And in no time, I was welcome from all sides. It warms my heart. So thank you, Nicholas and Solmir, for playing with me and to continue playing with me. I want to thank Table Runner Crispy. I want to thank Table Runner Crispy. I want to thank Mr. Max, Phil the Frill, 28mm RPG, also known as Rick. I want to thank Bacon, Better with Bacon, Dr. Mike. I want to thank Conway. What they've all been a blast in the hobby, making 4D roleplay fun to talk about, to learn about, putting videos up, interacting, theory crafting. I'm playing with. And there's a lot more people on the Discord as well. Thank you all. I can't think of all of the names. But we had also a few cool characters show up that have been very interested. Grognard guy came in with bunch of theory. And we kind of gave him shit at first, to be honest. Because he didn't put up any videos, but he's more than willing to tackle and attack the way we play our games, or that we talk about for the roleplay. But he did make videos now. So I changed my stance on that completely. Like, fan-fucking-tastic. It's hard to put yourself out there. So I have a huge respect for Grognard guy for doing that. You got Wonka Chunk, who, I kind of made fun of on Flame Zombie stream. And like with Conway, we reviewed a few of his sessions. There were live plays just on audio that had hilarious stuff happening, like a guy like having a laser bead on him, like he's gonna shoot him, and the other guy just asked what the atmospheric condition is outside, which was really hilarious. But then we reached out to him, right? Like we left a few comments on the YouTube, I think it was a blog. I'm not sure where we left the comments, but he reached out, and then they got to play with him, and he got is part of the community now. So we got lots of people that we did critique on how to roleplay, like how they roleplayed, that we think could be improved, and got got feedback that they are welcome of the feedback, that they think those are interesting points, and then join the Discord to like figure it out. And that's just so rewarding to see. So I'm very happy, and it's in a hobby that has a lot of egos involved that think they know it best because they've done it for 40 years. It's encouraging to see that many people are also out there that think, hey, you know what? I haven't tried this before. Tell me more. Like, let me try it out. What do you think about this? And getting good discussion going. So, thank you all. All right, that's all there is to it. I will roleplay more. See you around.